Goku has just found Krillin, left in the tournament building, lifeless on the floor. While the others look on in horror at what happened and discuss who could have done it, Goku is undergoing a change. Roshi is the first to spot it. It reminds him of the time that Goku transformed at the first tournament, but there's no moon anymore, and even if there was, this is clearly different. His hair changes color and an aura flares around him. Goku quickly grabs the dragon radar from Bulma and calls the Flying Nimbus. Roshi is astonished. He thinks Goku is still in over his head, but it's with this power, he might actually be able to challenge the Demon Clan. The people he just found out are responsible for this attack. Whatever this change is, it made Goku something beyond normal. They have no way of knowing it yet, but Goku is a Super Saiyan. When Goku finally catches up to Tambourine, it doesn't matter that the tournament has just happened. Much like Goku seemed to regain stamina on Namek after his first transformation, the same would happen here. So Tambourine is easily defeated, and Goku takes back his Dragon Ball. His rage hasn't subsided yet, though, so he can't drop the transformation, which actually works in his favor. King Piccolo senses the death of Tambourine and begins to pursue the Dragon Ball that Tambourine was collecting. The Demon King is astonished to learn that the Dragon Ball is heading towards a second Dragon Ball. He figures that he can accomplish 2 goals at once this way, so he heads for the same Dragon Ball. In his rage, Goku is trying to collect the Dragon Balls to revive Krillin, the only thing that would quell his anger. Goku beats King Piccolo to Yajirobe's location, and he's already gotten the Dragon Ball from Yajirobe, who was scared by Goku's frightening demeanor. Once Piccolo arrives, he faces Goku did originally, but even with his power being a little higher due to him not making symbol, he's still no match for a Goku with a 50 times multiplier. Piccolo trying to get the Dragon Balls from Goku made it clear that he was an ally of the creature that killed Krillin. Anger overtook Goku once again, and in what isn't much of a fight, he defeats the Demon King with ease. But Piccolo was more resilient than he thought, and barely clinged on to his life. Goku left to continue collecting the Dragon Balls, but this gives Piccolo the chance to produce a final offspring, a reincarnation of himself with the potential to surpass original in every way. Defeating the Demon King was enough for Goku's rage to subside, but his mission isn't done yet. Now back in base form, he rides the Kinto-un, and using the Dragon Radar, Goku quickly collects all the Dragon Balls. Krillin is revived along with anyone else killed by the Demon Clan as specified by Roshi, and things are seemingly good. Perhaps a time of peace was truly upon them, but of course, things are never so simple. Kami eventually realizes why he's still alive, and has Master Karin bring Goku to his palace. So Goku, hearing that God wants to see him, jumps the opportunity to train and get stronger, not yet told of the lingering threat on the world below. When he arrives on the lookout, he's tested by Mr. Popo, who can't understand how Goku beat King Piccolo with his current power. Eventually, Kami comes out and inspects Goku himself. Goku is shocked to see what seems to be Piccolo, but Popo and Kami explain to him the truth of Piccolo's origins. Goku understands and asks why he was brought to the lookout. Kami explains that the Demon King managed to reincarnate before dying. Goku realizes his rage probably blinded him, so he didn't see the Demon King do it. Kami then asks Goku about this rage of his. It's clear Goku lacks the power on his own to defeat the Demon King, so this rage must be connected to it. Goku says he doesn't know, but his friends told him that when he got angry at Krillin's death, it turned into power and changed his hair color. Kami asks if he can use that power at will, but Goku says he hasn't tried yet. After some careful thought, Kami concludes that they'll focus on mastering that power, using the memory of loss and the feeling of the transformation itself as a basis. The 3 years until the next Tenkaichi Budokai are spent understanding how to utilize this power while refining Goku's ki control. So training happens and 3 years pass, and everybody meets again at the tournament. From here, events won't really change until the final match, Goku versus Piccolo Jr. Even Kami's capture at the hands of the Demon King remains the same. Everyone watching waits for Goku's hair to change color and his power to spike, but it never happens. What's worse is Goku is a bit weaker than his canon self because he never drank the Ultra Divine Water and thus never had his hidden power unlocked. Piccolo is relieved to see that power isn't coming out because despite his best efforts to prepare for it, there was no easy way to close that gap. Eventually, Piccolo grows larger as a way to finish off the fight, and Goku baits him into growing even larger than that. This gives Goku the opportunity to go into Piccolo's stomach and rescue Kami as he did in the original. Once Kami is released from the jar, he looks over to Goku and assures him that he's okay. Goku lets out a sigh of relief and looks back to Piccolo with a smile on his face. Roshi tells Kami that there's no way Goku can win and asks what they should do, but Kami tells them not to worry and says to trick Piccolo, he had to trick everyone. Kami points to the arena where Goku's hair begins to stand up and his power begins to grow. Goku transforms into a Super Saiyan once again, and now Piccolo has no chance of winning. Kami assumes that Goku was waiting for an opportunity to save him before finishing the fight with Piccolo, and he's right. With the power of the Super Saiyan under his control, Goku wins the fight and saves the day. Kami, of course, goes to finish off the Demon King's reincarnation, but Goku stops him as he did originally. Then Goku denies the opportunity to take over as Earth's god and Ball ends in a similar way to how we remember. Now on to Dragon Ball Z, where everyone's favorite non-character Raditz shows up to kidnap his nephew and beat up his brother in the hopes that his brother will become a space pirate. Sounds pretty dumb when I say it out loud like that, right? Luckily, he can't achieve those goals because Goku has the Super Saiyan form, so Raditz is a non-issue. After 5 years of training with weighted clothes, I think it's fair to assume that Goku would have caught up to his canon-based power level at this time, especially since his base power wasn't enough for Piccolo. As a Super Saiyan and only using base power level of 416, Super Saiyan Goku is at a power level of 20,800. While Goku has a mastery of using Super Saiyan, like after going to Yardrat in canon, with no threat to worry about, he doesn't think to go past the Super Saiyan wall. No knowledge of his future death and no threat to face means he can't even see the wall that he's stuck behind yet. So with Goku's control over the Super Saiyan form, he is able to handle Raditz completely on his own. Raditz realizes after a few exchanges that he's no match for Goku and begins to beg for his life. This kindness that's overcome his younger sibling will be lenient enough to let him go. Luckily for Raditz, it actually works, and Goku tells his brother to leave and never return. Knowing he's no match for Goku, Raditz actually tries to escape, unlike the original story. Unfortunately for him, Piccolo was watching like he did in the original and was charging a Makanko Seppo during Raditz's plea. He sends the beam through Raditz's chest, killing the Saiyan before he could escape. Piccolo had hoped that Goku would kill Raditz and then be off guard, allowing the Makanko Seppo to be used on Goku instead. He didn't count on Goku's soft side striking again, especially not with a threat like this. Goku quickly turns to yell at Piccolo and say that this was completely unnecessary, but Raditz just laughs as he lays on the ground. For a moment, he feared that Goku was the Super Saiyan of legend, but that mercy was something the Super Saiyan could never have. Goku doesn't know what the Super Saiyan is, and he doesn't really care. He just wants to live a peaceful life on Earth. Raditz wishes he could have killed more Earthlings just to spite his naive younger brother, but at the very least, Nappa and Vegeta will take care of him. It should only take them a year to arrive on Earth and avenge him. Goku turns to Bulma and tells her to get the Dragon Radar. Some people were probably killed by Raditz and they need to be wished back. That was the wrong thing to say. The death of someone as pathetic as Raditz would never be enough to bring Nappa and Vegeta to Earth, but the allure of the Dragon Balls, Vegeta thinks this is their chance to gain immortality and overthrow Frieza. Nappa asks how they'll handle Kakarot if his power level is really over 20,000, but Vegeta tells Nappa not to worry. The Scouter probably functioned. Kakarot's power level being 2,000 makes far more sense and would still be more than enough to beat Raditz with ease. But in the off chance that he actually has a power level of 20,000, the Earth has a moon, and the Ozaru form makes both of them his superior. Raditz even mentioned that Goku lost his tail, so they actually have the advantage here. Nappa's nervous face turns to a smile. The Super Saiyan was supposed to be unbeatable, but Raditz even said that Goku couldn't be the Super Saiyan, so there was just no need to worry. Back on Earth, Kami gets in touch with both Goku and Piccolo. While Piccolo isn't allowed on the lookout, he suggests the two train together for the next year. If Piccolo can manage to catch up to Goku's transform state quickly, then that will give them their best chance against the upcoming Saiyans. Goku asks if that's even necessary. Are the two Saiyans really that big of a threat? Kami lets out a sigh and tells Goku that they could transform as well, but it's different than Goku's form. This transformation multiplies their power several fold, and with it, they'd be beyond Goku. So there's no choice. Goku looks to Piccolo, who snarls at the idea of working with his greatest adversary, but ultimately he accepts that they need to work together, at least for now. So at the base of Karin's tower, where they have easy access to Senzu and Kami's guidance, the two train for a year. Meanwhile, the human fighters gather on the lookout and train under Kami and Mr. Popo. During this year, Piccolo is eventually able to catch up to Super Saiyan Goku and even manages to grow pretty evenly alongside him. If this sounds weird to you, just know Piccolo did the same thing in canon. When training with Goku for the androids in the manga, Goku is a Super Saiyan, and Piccolo manages to get the Goku level and grow with him. This is shown as Piccolo and Super Saiyan Vegeta are clearly relative in terms of power based on their performance against androids 19 and 20, and Piccolo directly says Vegeta is stronger than Goku, something Goku doesn't disagree with. With all that said, the time skip gives Piccolo double his canon training time, since he doesn't need to wait for Gohan. In half a year, Piccolo got nearly 10 times stronger, and I'll round that up to 10, since he has a better training partner and double that for the full year of training. So base Goku, since Piccolo is keeping up with Super Goku, gets 20 times stronger, putting him at 8,320. That's right, it's a power level over 8,000. Pretty much what he had in canon anyway. Doesn't sound too crazy when I put it like that, does it? Multiply that by 50 and you get 416,000. This should be the pair's shared power level for this arc. Now, you may realize, by the time the Saiyans arrive on Earth, Goku and Piccolo are just way too much for them. When they land on the planet, they fly towards the highest power levels on Earth. Goku and Piccolo both suppressed at 5,000 each. Now is bit hesitant due to his power level being a mere 4,000, but Vegeta tells him to make a power ball and they'll have no issues. So at the cost of some of his own power, Nappa creates an artificial moon and the two transform into their Ozaru forms. Goku and Piccolo expected this, so they split up and fight one each. Piccolo handles Nappa while Goku goes after Vegeta. Vegeta laughs at Goku for thinking he could take him one-on-one, but Goku transforms into a Super Saiyan, silencing him instantly. Vegeta can't believe what he's seeing. Something deep inside him knows this is the Super Saiyan of legend, and he's not sure he can beat him. Piccolo is also easily handling Nappa to the surprise of Vegeta, but he can't look away for long as Goku begins to attack. The battle is short and ultimately ends with Goku cutting off Vegeta's tail, returning him to base form. Vegeta tells Goku that he's shocked to see him as a Super Saiyan and that a Namekian could be so strong. This is the second time Goku is hearing about being a Super Saiyan. Maybe he really is the Super Saiyan that Raditz spoke about, and Namekians were something new to him entirely. He wants to know more. Before he can ask, Piccolo comes over and finishes off Vegeta, having easily handled Nappa. Goku doesn't know if he needed to go that far again, but at the very least, he didn't see Vegeta as someone with great potential like he does in the main story, so he's not too bothered by it. This leads to a strange period of time where Frieza isn't really relevant. While I think he'll likely still invade Namek due to the intel from Raditz's scouter, the Dragon Balls will either turn to stone or he'll have no way to activate them. This leads to a terrible fate for the Namekians, but also leaves Frieza believing the Dragon Balls were just a myth after all. Vegeta's death was interesting to Frieza due to his fear of a Super Saiyan, but the only intercepted communications put him to rest as Vegeta, Nappa, and Raditz agreed that Goku wasn't the Super Saiyan, which means life on Earth is actually peaceful. Until May 12th, age 767, the day the androids appear, and even worse, Goku has recently passed away due to him contracting a heart virus. Of course, the androids were still being made despite all the changes, and even worse, this version of Jiro knows about Super Saiyans, meaning it was incorporated into his data, and since he didn't follow everyone to Namek and canon, this is actually just a stronger Goku and Piccolo that he's collected data from. Gohan is in the worst position of all though, never having his toddler training camp or his potential unlocked or his many Zenkais on Namek, he won't barely escape like he did in the canon future timeline. But even with everyone dead, hope is still alive. Bulma survives and is able to scrounge together enough materials to make a time machine. Unlike the original though, no one can go back in time except for her, so once it's complete, she travels 22 years into the past. This is actually right after the fight with the Saiyans, since Goku never leaving Earth means the warning doesn't have to be timed with his return. So the time machine glows before disappearing, reappearing in some woods. Bulma looks across a nearby river to see the home of the Son family. It worked. Her first task wasn't to warn Goku and the others though. She uses the dragon radar she brought with her to locate the 7 Dragon Balls the course of a few days. Afterwards, she summons Shenron and learns exactly where Jiro's lab is. After she's completed that mission, she tells Goku of the terrible future she's had to endure, and he agrees to fight the androids. She asks that he trains and goes to Jiro's lab afterwards. She plans to stay in the timeline until then in hopes of finding something in the lab that can be used to destroy the future androids as well, so they have to wait until the androids are started to get those plans. Goku agrees so long as he gets to fight, and she smartly promises he will even if go early. She also asks that Gohan is trained too. Chi-Chi seems a bit reluctant, but after hearing what happened to her son in the future, she quickly agrees. This is very important, since this version of Gohan actually inherited more S-cells from Goku than canon Gohan, so he's able to access the Super Saiyan form with very little effort, like Goten and Trunks did. Goku also remembers his month in the time chamber on Kami's lookout, but he doesn't want to use it again since they have 5 years to train. What he more importantly remembers is the increased gravity of the room, so he future Bulma if she'd be able to make something that could increase the gravity, and she says it should be possible to make a room for it at Capsule Corp, so with the help of her present self, don't worry, they get along great, and Dr. Brief, they make a gravity room, similar to the one Vegeta trained in before the androids appeared in canon. So Goku gets Piccolo to train with him and Gohan in the increased gravity. Senzu's help them recover quickly and gives Gohan his missing Zenkais as well. Now remember, Goku on his way to Namek got around 10 times stronger from Zenkais and gravity training in about 5 days. Since he rested on the final day. That's absurd. Now imagine if the gravity went up to 300 times like Vegeta's gravity room and he trained for years instead. It's basically unquantifiable, but he definitely should be more than enough for the androids, especially when you consider Gohan's potential and more importantly, Goku finally seeing it. What lies beyond the Super Saiyan wall? In canon, it took him 10.5 months in the time chamber to master Super Saiyan. Here, where Gohan could go Super Saiyan quickly, it'll be a much shorter process. Even even if it wasn't, they have more than enough time to master Super Saiyan compared to the canon version of events. So after 3 years of preparation, everyone is as ready as they can be, with Goku, Piccolo, and Gohan being the strongest, and secretly, Gohan is the strongest of them all. As a group, they go to Jiro's lab 2 years early. The door is still pretty strong, but they manage to get through it. And even if he's already an android, 19 and 20 are just no match for mastered Super Saiyans. These aren't the androids that future Bulma knows, but seeing Jiro as an android still made sense to her, and then she noticed the pods in the back of the lab. After Goku and Piccolo handle 19 and 20 with ease, Bulma has them destroy the 3 deactivated androids as well, but make sure they do it outside to avoid the lab being damaged. As Bulma explores the lab, she notices there isn't any documentation on the androids on any computer or even any blueprints lying around. That's when she notices the direction of some wiring. It's heading down. There's a hidden lab below them. After searching for a bit, she finds the hatch to enter it and makes her way down with Gohan for protection. What they find is a computer continuing Jiro's work, creating an artificial life form unlike any before. She also finds the documentation she needs to stop the future androids. So Bulma uses the blueprints for Cell to shut down the supercomputer and Cell's incubator. But just to be safe, she has Gohan destroy Cell as well. With this done, the present is safe. Goku was hoping for more of a fight, but he has something even more exciting to look forward to: training Gohan. During their preparation for the androids, he saw glimpses of Gohan's hidden power, so he wants to use that power grow his son into someone capable of defending the Earth. Future Bulma's warning showed him a glimpse of an Earth that didn't have a new defender, so he's ready to pass things over to the next generation, like his son. After this, future Bulma returns to her timeline, where she promptly shuts down the androids and goes to Jiro's hidden lab to stop Cell from ever being born. This is the safest the future timeline has ever been. Back in the present, Goku gets Chi-Chi to agree to Gohan going on a short training journey with his father on the condition that Gohan keeps up his schoolwork while traveling. He accepts her condition and takes Gohan to learn the fundamentals of martial arts from the ground up, both of them maintaining mastered Super Saiyan as they do. First, they go to Son Gohan's house on Mount Paozu, where Goku was raised. He teaches Gohan the martial arts that Grandpa Gohan first taught him. Next, they go to Kame House, and Roshi has them do manual labor, just like Goku and Krillin did as kids. Then they go to Karin's tower, climbing it together quickly and trying to catch Master Karin to get the sacred water. Karin remarks this will be too simple for them as they are now, so to make it interesting, he has them lower their power to match his. Both of them have to catch him with better movement alone, so both of them take turns trying to catch the god of martial arts, honing their movements as they do. After a few days, both manage to catch him and drink the sacred water. Gohan realizes it did nothing, and Goku tells him that's the point. Getting the water was the training. Karin says that both of them should be strong enough for something else as well. He pours 2 cups and hands it to them. This is the ultra divine water. It's poison, but if you are strong enough to not succumb to the poison, it rewards you by drawing out your latent potential. Goku had never drank this like he did in canon because he acquired Super Saiyan early, but both agree to give it a shot. Goku jokingly tells Karin to use the Dragon Balls to bring them back if they don't make it. He agrees and both drink the water. Instantly, they writhe in pain, but after a few hours of torment, their eyes shoot open. The roar of the Ozaru echoes in Goku's mind and increases his power in a single burst. He's unrecognizable to Karin, but Gohan was even greater. Gohan seemed to be beyond even a mastered Super Saiyan. He transformed into something new, a Super Saiyan 2. This absolutely stunned Goku. His son had far exceeded him and even gotten a new form, which was perfect for the final part of their journey. Gohan returns back to mastered Super Saiyan and both make their way to the roof of Karin's tower. Goku retracts the Nyoibo and tells Gohan to grab on. He tells it to extend and they both make their way to the lookout where Mr. Popo and Kami awaited them, as well as Piccolo. Kami was watching this journey of theirs and realized they'd need someone stronger than him or Popo to continue their progress. What Kami was good at, though, was teaching the control of transformations. So with Piccolo's help, Goku and Gohan both managed to gain a mastery over Super Saiyan 2. They decided not to use the time chamber since it's limited to 2 years and they might need it in the future. So after both are satisfied with their progress, they return home. A time of peace passes until the 25th Tenkaichi Budokai. Mr. Satan is champion, but he's not nearly as famous due to him not defeating Cell. Videl still recognizes Gohan's last name and wants him to enter since both of their parents were world champions. So he agrees, since Goku wanted to enter anyway. They gather the other Z fighters and enter the tournament, but of course, they are interrupted by the threat of Buu. Thankfully, Goku isn't on a time limit, and Vegeta isn't around to ruin everything. So the two of them easily take down Babidi's men and stop Buu's resurrection before it could happen. Goku watches proudly as his son is the one to handle Daburo with ease. Happy to know that the future is in good hands. As the story transitions from Goku's to Gohan's, I think that's a good place to end this. Subscribe if you haven't yet, and thank you so very much for watching.